Hi, it's me, Patrick. I am your professor, and I'm here to talk to you about plagiarism and what plagiarism is. We hear this word a lot today in colleges and universities, but what exactly is plagiarism? Why is it bad? And how can we avoid it? First, I want to talk to you about what plagiarism is. On plagiarism.org, which I looked at today, which is May 14th, I have discovered that plagiarism is defined as to steal or pass off ideas or words of another's one's own, to use another's production without crediting the source, to commit literary theft, or to present as new and original an idea or product derived from an existing source. Plagiarism.org goes on to tell us that plagiarism includes turning in someone else's work as your own, copying words or ideas without giving credit, failing to put quotations in quotation marks, giving incorrect information about the source of a quotation, changing words but copying the sentence structure of a source without giving credit, and copying so many words or ideas from a source that it makes up the majority of your work whether you give credit or not. These are all things that make up plagiarism. So basically, it's taking words or ideas without giving proper credit. That's the essence of it. It's an ethical problem, and this is why plagiarism is something we need to avoid. Because when we plagiarize, we're doing a couple of things that aren't correct. Number one, we're not giving credit where credit is due. Somebody out there thought up what you are trying to use. This is called intellectual property. Intellectual property is what we call that information that somebody else came up with. Chances are you've come up with ideas yourself. If you've written them down and posted them somewhere, then they belong to you. And if somebody uses them, they have to give you credit for it. And if they don't, it's considered theft. And we need to avoid theft in all possible. We all agree that stealing stuff is wrong. Stealing ideas is just as wrong. Another problem that we see with plagiarism is that it's not fair to the other people who are doing the same work, especially in a class. If you turn in a paper that you copied information from, then what you're doing isn't right, because somebody else is going to get a grade that is going to be based on their own work, whereas your grade is going to be based on the work of yourself and other people. And without giving that credit, then you're getting an unfair advantage over other people in the class. A third reason that it's wrong is because you're misleading the whoever is reading that paper. Your professor is reading a paper and assuming that you wrote all this information yourself. And if you fail to give credit to other people who helped contribute to that paper, then you're lying to your professor. Just like theft, lying is clearly wrong. You're misleading somebody into thinking that you did something you didn't do. And we need to avoid this as well. Now let's be clear. Plagiarism is plagiarism, regardless of whether you meant to do it or not. Saying, "I didn't know that was plagiarism," is not a defense for plagiarism. We need to arm ourselves with the facts. If you know what it is and how to avoid it, you won't do it. I don't think anybody intends to try to cheat these people out of the information or try to lie to their professors. If you do, then clearly you're doing something wrong and you know it. But even if you don't know it's wrong, you should arm yourselves with the knowledge so that you don't do it again. So that's the basics of what plagiarism is. The rest of the exercises that you do will hopefully help you learn how to avoid plagiarism for the future. Might you still do it accidentally? It's possible, but it's much less likely if you're aware of it. It's kind of like speeding. If you're not paying attention, it's very easy to go above the speed limit. But if you're paying attention, it's hard to go over the speed limit because then you know how fast you're going at all times. So please, let's do our best to avoid plagiarism and to make sure that we have no problems with plagiarism at all this semester. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.